Hey everybody, welcome to Raising Vibrations. You with Simon today. And this is a full moon in Aquarius video, a little short sharing of my insights and thoughts on this most recent full moon that just took place, the lunar eclipse. And I hope this video finds you well and you're doing okay during this current shifting of energy from the full moon that's in Aquarius, that was in Aquarius, and the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse that's going to be taking place in Leo. So before I jump into what I'm going to be sharing with you today, just want to let you know that I'm still here. Haven't uploaded some videos for quite some time, and I'm just busy working on some stuff on my own personal life, just taking a bit of a time out in terms of getting clear around what it is that I want to do for this channel, what it is that I want to provide, how I'm going to provide that. So just kind of taking a bit of a vacation from my own consistent process and just connecting deeper with my own sense of self. So with that being said, there's one thing that I do want to share is that for you that have followed me for quite some time, you know that I have this kind of issue with these forecasts, monthly forecasts, and I've attempted them numerous times. I got inspired again to create them in a way that really brings to you, the person that's understanding them, something that I would like to add to it. Like, what is my value? What do I want to contribute to this kind of monthly forecasting in a way that really awakens your soul? So I'm excited to share with you that very, very soon I will be uploading 12 videos again. I've readjusted the way that I do these, so it'll probably be a lot more easier for me to upload the 12 videos to do some really deep astrological sharing with you. And so that's what I'm excited about, which is interesting because like I said, I have this ongoing wrestling match between in myself around how they should operate. But I'm happy to report that they're going to be coming out again. So with that being said, let's jump into this full moon in Aquarius sharing. So as you know, of course, when you're watching this has already occurred. And there are many layers to this full moon experience, okay? Of course, you know, as I've mentioned, that this energy is a lunar eclipse experience. So of course, there's a lot of darkness. There's a lot of shrouded around our consciousness during this experience. And so naturally speaking, a lot of the energies that will be arising for us seem to be on some level a little bit confusing. Maybe most of us probably got triggered during experiences like this. Most of us were unclear about certain things. Some of us experienced a lot of traumas that came up to the surface that were just needing to be released. I think that that's the key that I want to share with this full moon experience, that when you look at the full moon itself, look at where the moon is. It was at 15 degrees Aquarius. The south node is right there next to it at 24 degrees. Technically, that would be a conjunction on some level. And of course, in the opposite over there is the Mars and the Sun in a conjunction as well and close to the north node. Okay. Now, the first thing that we've got to recognize about what I'm sharing here with pointing those two symbols out is that in May we had the nodes shift from Virgo, Pisces to Aquarius and Leo. So the dynamic of energy was changing for us. And I had mentioned in a couple of live streams at that point that for each of us, in order to understand the south node in Aquarius, look to the natal placement of your Uranus, understand or get in touch with the nature of what that symbolizes for you. And for anybody that hasn't got an understanding of what that is, I highly recommend that you look at the Uranus Through the Houses playlist that I have on my YouTube. It's a couple of minutes long that talks about the dynamics that are occurring. I think that will bring up a lot of material for you. So just go look at what house it's in. So that south node, to understand what that's about, look at your own natal Uranus. And also pay attention to the transiting Uranus. Okay, so You have Uranus in Aries at the moment, that's a transiting Uranus, and you have your natal Uranus. And when you understand the combination of those three things over there, you'll begin to notice what is actually occurring with the south node. Okay? So the natal Uranus will correlate to the dynamics or individuality, the nature of the emotional deconditioning that you as a soul have chosen to come through this lifetime with. Okay? So if it sits in the fourth house as an example, this is a lifetime in which you'll be learning about breaking free from all of the emotional and ego identities and comfort zones that you once experienced in the past, a sense of identity. Now, with the transiting Aries or Uranus in Aries, that's showing you that currently, right now, that's where we are in the context of this overall experience. In other words, that whatever traumas, whatever things that are kind of merged with your natal Uranus, the transiting Uranus is showing you what is active, how that's activating. So for all of us on the planet at this stage, we have Uranus at 28 degrees in Aries. So we're breaking free from the shackles. We're breaking free from the limitations and conditioning cycles that have been projected onto us and we have lived through for the last couple of 1,000 years. So of course, this means for us on a deep level that we are awakening our consciousness, and through awakening our consciousness, breaking down patterns. Okay, and naturally, when you take into consideration what I've been sharing with you today, there will be a specific pattern of breaking down that's occurring for you, and that's what I was sharing with you. So again, very clearly, wherever your Uranus is natal in your chart, and wherever the transiting Uranus is at that stage, the combination of the two will tell you specifically how those dynamics are actually playing out. So I'll give you an example from my own life. I hope this is okay, right? South node sits, Uranus sits in the 11th house in Sagittarius. The transiting Uranus is currently in my 4th house in Aries. And I'm noticing inside of my life at the moment that a lot of the belief structures and ideas and perspectives that I have held for on an unconscious level throughout my life, the conditioning pattern, remember that we're breaking free from conditioning, right? Those conditioning patterns are being brought up at this point in time. And as I'm engaging in them, I'm observing how I, as in myself, is not wanting those patterns to be existing, or noticing where those patterns of trauma come up for myself, and then breaking down those emotional connections to them. And for me, it's happening in my home, and it's happening in its extended family. And it's a very profound thing, because this full moon in Aquarius that took place for me, which is of course on that south node, was bringing up all of this stuff. So every single one of us has had this opportunity with this lunar eclipse to have some of the material that you carry brought to the surface on some level, to be objectified and to be broken free from, to be liberated from. Okay? And so this will enable you to access more of what the North Node, the Sun, and Mars is all doing in Leo, which is that the more that we can decondition ourselves, in other words, awaken our consciousness, awaken the aliveness within ourselves, be more present with ourselves, the more that we can look at the nature of our ancestral karma. I mean, this is so much about this chart, by the way, breaking down patterns of ancestral karma that have been passed down through linear time. In that sense, the parents that have raised your parents a certain way, that they've put their ideals onto you, and so on and so forth, this linearity. Okay, breaking down a lot of those structures and allowing yourself to be free, Aquarius, from these crystallized patterns, so that you can embrace more of your own inner self. You can embrace more of your sense of destiny. You can embrace more of your heart. And if I to break this down for you more and to give a clearer perspective, if you look, Uranus also just recently went retrograde. Okay, so that's a big deal. Mercury is about to go retrograde as well. It's in its shadow form at this stage. It's in Virgo at the moment. Okay, and we have Venus in Cancer at this stage. Now, I didn't actually draw the aspect lines in this chart, but Venus made and is currently making, will be making too, is making what is called an inconjunct, right? 150-degree angle between the moon, which is at 15 degrees Aquarius, and Cancer at 8 degrees. So this inconjunct is representative of the breaking free, the liberation, the shocking or detaching experience that allows us to objectify our emotions, to allows us to objectify the nature of our patterns of behavior. Okay. And just to teach a little bit of astrology here, and for anybody that is interested in actually studying astrology, you know, I do have schools and classes and stuff that I run frequently. You can always send me an email and say, hey, I'm interested in doing a beginner's course with you. I love to teach, and this is the way I teach. So when we look at the Aquarius signature there, and we look at the Cancer signature, and the relationship that these two symbols have together, we observe that this is the dynamic, this is the mechanic, that when we have an experience in our lives that shocks us or jolts us, or something unexpected happens, or there's a sense of chaos, the emotional attachment or security that we have on a psychological and of course on an emotional level, this doesn't have something consistent in it. It's not rooted, it's not formed, it's not stable. So what happens is we experience a kind of like jolting within our psyche. Our memory patterns have sporadic developments towards it, right? That's why the nature of trauma in itself is, from an ego point of view, Cancer fourth house, has all to do with the way that we emotionally process that experience. And so for me, when I get traumatized through on my chart, and the dynamics that were coming up for me during this full moon, they were all around the inner child being deeply, deeply, deeply traumatized through various experiences. And the frozenness, and this is the key factor here, Uranus correlates to the archetype of emotional frozenness. And it's because there's a thread or a strand that happens that gets stopped, okay, and we can't integrate it. So the reason why the Leo archetype, in that sense, is the thawing down process of the frozen material that we have within our bodies, and of course within our psyche. We want to break down that. We want to decondition that. We want to consistently keep on observing our disassociative and detaching patterns within our emotional and psychological behaviors, so that we can observe where fractals of our own personal light, our own sense of that stream of our consciousness to flow in the body and to be vibrant within ourselves is not inhibited by this. So this is a very big deal for us with the full moon lunar eclipse happening on Aquarius. You know, it's showing us that in order to be full of your sense of purpose, in order to understand the nature of flow in your life, in order to understand the nature of what it means to be embracing love within yourself and within humanity, we need to look at the disassociated or detached or traumatized patterns, emotional patterns that we carry within ourselves, and to heal those patterns so that we can be more present. And this is the key here. The key is presence, the ability to be present. And when you look at Saturn in Sagittarius over there, it's about to go direct on the 25th of August, if I'm not mistaken. So, you know, about 20 days, not even 15 days time. We are dealing with past patterns of truths and perspectives that we once held, and how those are limiting when they are conditioned or frozen. So for instance, another example is that, you know, we are here to process our reality. We are here to access the phenomena of reality through our relationship with it. So in that context, when we are engaging in the perspective or truth that is still held when we were 5 years old and our parents shouted at us and we never got clarity or solution or resolution around feeling as if that was our fault. You know, maybe our parents shouted at us and that was their past trauma that they got when they were younger. And in an unconscious sense, we don't actually communicate to our children and say, look, I'm sorry for shouting at you. You know, I'm really stressed at this stage. It's not your fault. And I do love you, as an example. That would be like a healthy way to respond to a child when gets traumatized or gets emotionally shocked if we lash out in some way. And it can happen to us, of course, as human being, like, you know, in an adult relationship as well. It's not exclusive to them, but there's a less of an understanding from a child's perspective. You know, we have to be very clear about our process. So for a lot of us, we have instilled truths and belief systems and experiences, direct experiences that have, you know, been frozen within us. And of course, we're opening that up. That's what this lunar eclipse, the solar eclipse, is about in Leo. It's opening up our hearts. We're breaking the shackles. We're trying to be more sensitive within ourselves. We're trying to be more sensitive to the trauma and to the darkness and to the pain in the world, and to respond to it in a way that brings more compassion to not only ourselves, but to the way that the world is happening and working at this stage, because there is an immense amount of chaos. And I think that if there's anything that I can impart in this video today with you that, you know, truly captures the full moon in Aquarius, it's that we are going to and are going through a initiation or a phase in which the deconditioning and breaking free and recognizing and honoring the traumas within ourselves as a key to being more fuller in the heart. And the more that we can open up our hearts, the more that we can allow ourselves to access these and to accept these traumas, not only within ourselves, but within the collective. And it's not everybody's job to save the collective, and it's not everybody's job to consistently think that they need to be saving other people. It's really about looking at ourselves and working a lot on ourselves and beginning to draw our attention back to what brings us joy and excitement in every single day, and to give attention to that as we honor the Leo in our energy, as we honor the greater sense of, you know, purpose that we feel is, you know, on some level inspires us to wake up in the morning. And of course, this is a very difficult thing because there are so many dynamics that are playing out here on this field, on this material plane, that statement in itself is very exclusive and elitist in some way. And I do agree. But that is our ultimate trajectory. That is the most optimal space that we can work with. And I think that if we can access more of the deepening of our own sense of individuality within ourselves, we can be more respectful of the individuation process and creative process that each of us goes through as we become more illuminated within ourselves. And again, this is the purpose here. We're not seeking enlightenment for the purpose of to measure it as a success barometer. We're awakening ourselves to become more clearer within ourselves. And that expression allows us to then be more nourishing to not only our own lives, but to others if we seem to find ourselves interacting with other people. Okay, everybody, thanks very much for allowing me to share this material with you today. I truly hope that this brought you some value in some sense. I'll be back at some point, probably with a live stream with the solar eclipse. I'm busy doing some work at this stage that really I feel is going to be something that you're going to see coming forward out of this YouTube channel. And so I'm super excited. But right now, have a wonderful week, and I will speak to you soon. Take care, everyone. Bye.